YouTube, what the crap's going on? Not much for me. Ready to get some revenge for that loss against the Sequani. They don't really have any troops left to counterattack me, so unless they hire up a bunch of mercs or something, I'm gonna flee back to Trevorum, or however you say that place. Let's see. Fortunately, I have some decent buildings here to retrain my men, though I can't on this particular turn because my guys are in fast march. These this guy was hindered. There's nothing else that he can do, but we really need to at least see if we can hinder this war maiden over here. She's causing me a lot of grief. Man, I got a really fat chance of any of this stuff working, though, because she's such high level.
I have my ways.
Well, there we go. We hindered her. Yeah, can't move or act. Good. So at least she can't give us grief on the next turn. And we just need to repair these buildings here where we were sabotaged. And I can't see any of the enemy agents who are doing this stuff. So I'll bring my men down here and drop them into their agent function, see if that'll help reveal the perpetrators of those acts. And we're going to need to retrain this army in its entirety. I don't see the Cherushi there anymore, so I think I'm actually going to go back to this province where I can train better units. I can actually get chariots here, which would be great on open field. They're just not going to be very much use in siege battles, so it makes me feel somewhat hesitant to recruit too terribly many of them. Alright, for now though, these are the only types of units that I have available to me, so we're just going to have to make do. Got our scouts, increase their cunning. Got a warlord over here, and we'll increase his strength. Okay, let's check our diplomacy situation. No new tribes to declare war against. Let's end this turn and get ready for the next. Can't wait to get some revenge on the Sequani. Man, that is a irritating situation. Well, here come the Arverni against me. Look, they actually brought some sword troops that they trained. That's great. Might be running into some better composed armies here from the AI. Though this particular one I'm not too worried about. Let's go ahead and fight these guys off. I'll just kind of hole up in the city in a defensive position and then swing my horsemen around behind them. The only unit here that I'm particularly afraid of is the noble horsemen. Their Gallic warriors are actually probably equally matched, if not better, than my swordsmen, but I have more. So just not real concerned about how that'll play out. And my phone is over here going crazy because some goofs at work are hitting reply all on a message that accidentally went to a whole bunch of the wrong people. And it's kind of funny because when someone copies a whole list of people on an email that weren't supposed to be there, and then you hit reply all and copy all those people when they already know that they weren't supposed to be on it, and then you keep doing it, it really gets kind of annoying. So yeah, I keep my work phone next to me during the evening in case there's some kind of actual problem. So whenever I hear it over here just like absolutely lighten up, I'm like, ah, crap, here here we go. Crap's hit the fan. Got to take care of something after hours, and then you realize that it's just that going on, which is good that it wasn't an actual problem, but still, it's kind of like, really? Come on. Do we need to like take an email 101 course here? Email 101. First lesson. Don't reply to all, unless there's a reason to reply to all. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna get some of my sword units and just go into a shield wall over here. And then I'll just go into a shield wall with my spearmen on this side. Basically, we'll just set up a decent anvil. Seriously, people, please quit the reply to all. Sorry, I'll quit talking about it because I know it doesn't affect you all. It's just... It's funny, though, because there's people emailing saying, please don't reply to all. But they're replying to all. Oh, man. Seriously. Alright. Let's see what the AI does here. They'll probably come attack from a single angle. Oh man, I did frenzy. Whoops. So, didn't mean to do frenzy. Now my guys might get tired. That sucks. That was a miscue. Let's move our veteran riders, get ready to swing around. So basically what I'm going to do is, I'm guessing that the AI is going to come in all from here. And then I'm going to swing this cav around from behind him and smash him against my swordsman. So... Alright. And then we got some reinforcements coming over here. Another noble horse. 2 noble horse from the Gauls. That is a good unit for the enemy to be taken. Should have... Yeah, you can't enter from here. They can enter from right here, though. Let's take some of these spearmen that aren't necessary here. And let's come fill in this gap right here. Hopefully we can take care of all these gaps. I think we can. Okay, the AI is funneling into my choke point here. Actually going to take my slingers off fire at will. Don't want them shooting my own men in the back. My swords and spear wall ought to be capable. And let's bring my general over though and use some of his abilities. Make sure my men are inspired. Looks like all these guys are headed to a different entrance. That's okay, I've got this entrance pretty well sealed here. AI will probably see my veteran riders coming here in a second. They did bring their Celtic warriors in first, which was a good move. And I'm not getting a lot of kills though because my men are in shield wall. I'm gonna put a second line of swords and spear wall here just to make sure that the AI can't get through. Strike some fear into the enemy units here. And let's get into the back of these Celtic slingers with my heavy horse. This unit here is wavering, so again, we'll have our second line spear wall here. The enemy skirmishers behind them, I'm trying to take them out so that we can stop that rain of missiles. Some of their troops trying to get around to the other side here.
Spearmen! Forward!
Spearmen in position. Yeah, there's a big blob of Celtic youths here that's just asking to be run down. Please, Mr. Air, please ride us down.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
And I'm going to ride them down because they replied to all. That's pretty much the reason. Celtic youths replied to all. Alright. Come on, seriously? How are these Celtic youths outrunning you? There we go. I mean, I'd be pretty scared and running pretty fast too if I was getting chased down by horsemen, but still expect better here. Let's intimidate the enemy general. And it looks like we're kind of slowly tearing these guys down over here. Very slowly. I'm going to split up my veteran riders, one for each of these units, chase them down. So the enemy skirmishers will be gone except for this one unit of Celtic slingers over here. And I've got all of these guys bottled up against 2 spear units. So, and then just to make sure they don't get in, we'll pull these guys back over here. Okay, this big blob of Celtic slingers is almost gone. Though now there's some spears nearby to protect them, so I'm going to have to pull back. Because we've managed to let these guys outrun us. And of course my cav can't seem to pull themselves out of the slingers. Oh, good, they routed. Man, this noble horse is still tanking it out over here. I'm going to take all these guys out of shield wall and attack into the noble horse, see if we can get them to rout a little quicker. Okay, seriously, horsemen? I think I've given you the order like 10 times. Let's go. Come on. I know it's not supposed to be as easy to pull away from infantry, but just because one of you's fighting doesn't mean the rest of you have to. Come on. There you go. Good horsies. There we go. Really need to get over here and hammer and anvil this blob. Move those guys up. And we are finally routing this noble horse, which was definitely busy tanking it out all over me. Stupid Levy Freeman back here kind of preventing me from getting the hammer and anvil strike I need. I need those guys to go ahead and commit to the fight. It looks like they're about to.
Is dead.
That would be the noble horse general that we just killed, I believe. Let's bring my own general over to this vicinity. Oh, come on! I wasn't paying attention to which pathfinding route my note. Just got one of my veteran riders killed.
Our men flee the field of battle.
Because I wasn't paying attention and it took the shortest route. Oh crap, now that noble horse is coming after all my veteran riders. Run, run, run. Yeah, we have no hope of performing a hammer and anvil as long as that veteran horse is back there. And the AI is going to be here for the better part of a year while we cut them down. Seriously? Alright, come on, move up here. There you go. So I think our only chance, or our best chance I should say, not our only chance, is to just bring these swordsmen around. Because the AI has all these spears they keep bringing in and out of the fight. I'll bring my horsemen back now. Yeah, we'll bring some infantry around and then bring the cavalry in. All my men are pretty badly depleted. Man, every time I get coming back, they want to pull that noble horse out of the fight. Let's put all these guys into frenzied charge. People are still replying to all my work phone. Good grief, seriously. And of course the AI pulled out of the fight to come countercharge my horses, which is not precisely what I needed. And my swords are hung up on a pathfinding error. Fortunately, though, all the enemy troops routed when I came from behind them. Wow, that was kind of a mess. Good grief. A couple of pretty costly victories for us. They were going to have to let our troops retrain, maybe re-recruit some units. Those noble horse and spear nobles are some painful units to take down whenever you don't have the highest quality units. Dadgum, lost that veteran rider too. That was not a unit I really wanted to lose. I need to pay closer attention to the pathfinding on the siege battles because it is bad. And you kind of just need to babysit your guys a little more to make sure that they get where they need to go. There is an Arverni fleet off of my coast. I'm going to make sure they don't come and land or try and take one of my port settlements. So that is very possible. Okay. Let's see. I can't recruit another veteran rider, but I can pull in another. Well, rather than a scout rider, let's pull in a chariot unit just for the sake of. And we can now take this unit out of forced march. And let's get some sword units recruited back into this fold. There we go. All right. We're gonna also need to take another stab at some of these enemy units here. This enemy war maiden's putting up a pretty stiff resistance. Oh wow, we got her to defect. Sweet. Glad she's on our team. Alright. War Maiden did a great job there. Actually, we're not going to do an assassination. Let's keep trying this manipulation. See if we can get lucky. Enemy agent hindered.
Was there ever any doubt?
And that's my best chance right there, persuasion. Well, at least of hindering. Wasn't necessarily the best chance of defecting, but at least it makes sure this agent's out of commission for the next turn. And I don't see any enemy agents around this settlement anymore. Let's see. No new factions to declare war against. We do have some agents that have leveled up. This War Maiden's getting pretty skilled. She can train armies relatively quick, which will be good, because I'll have a pretty much fresh army coming up over there that's going to need some help. And let's take this Druid, and I'm going to do the same thing. I kind of like putting a couple of points at least into this Dignitary, because the added chance of critical success seems to help them out when they're going for an assassination or a defection or something like that. Is an enemy fleet. What do I have? Just a few token vessels back here. Probably not enough to really defend anything, so I'll recruit a few more ships and keep an eye on them. Though I think we could keep a Gallic fleet from doing us too much pain. I don't see any reason why we can't go ahead and upgrade this to a stables. It gives me a little bit of squalor effect, but we should be alright. And if we can finish the farms there at Trevorum, that'd be good. And here as well, we were supposed to be tearing those down, actually. So hopefully they're in the process of converting. Or actually they're finishing building. So the next turn we should have a little more food. And, oh, got one more upgrade to divvy out here to my Warlord. I'm going to give him Warfare so that we can unlock the one that lets him train units faster. It's always useful, in my opinion at least, to keep a Warlord in every army possible, because it'll just add a whole bunch of chevrons to the men and make them better in general. You can make even crappy units fairly good at that point. You know, I might take that Navy and see if it can do any good sailing towards some of the enemy ports. See if we can blockade. Yeah, look, there's an enemy agent giving me some grief. More enemy agents. This is to be expected. And because I didn't get rid of the Sequani, look, they're going to come in, probably try and assassinate my general, which they failed to do. But sometimes they'll come in and do that kind of stuff. We're going to have to defend this, and to be quite honest, I'm not worried about just auto-resolving this one. Gosh dang it, though, I lost more veteran riders. I'll be able to recruit them back, though, whenever we finish that stable. That's what I get for auto-resolving, though, and being lazy. You cannot have a peace treaty, because if I do, then I'm not going to get my achievement. Of course, now they're coming out to attack me. And they've got a decent little army here. The only good unit I have is my general, who's in a heroic noble, so this is actually going to be a pretty challenging defense, because they've got this spear noble and this noble horse. That's going to be a problem. Well, let's see what we can do. We're going to have to defend it. Don't have any other choice. Let's defend or die. Most likely die. But who knows, maybe we'll have a decent defensive position. Our heroic noble and shield wall would be pretty hard for the enemy to break. And it does look like we're going to be able to bottleneck the AI on this map. This is the same map that I was fighting last time. I have some slingers. Just take some of these farmer units. They're terrible, but we'll keep them around. Yeah, this heroic noble's definitely a good unit. Hopefully we can use it right. Enemy skirmishers are slingers,
enemy reinforcements approaching.
Slightly less concerning to me, though not entirely able to write them off. I think what I'm going to do is put these guys here, actually. I'll just kind of barricade a few of these. And I'm going to get in this position here so that the enemy slingers don't have a direct line of fire at me from here. They have to come all the way around, and then I might be able to harass them with these units. Put these guys into shield wall. If there weren't cav coming at me, I would go ahead and charge, but because the enemy noble horse is coming towards me, I'm definitely going to go into shield wall.
Our general is under attack.
General under attack. Let's now see if we can swing these farmers around. I'm going to immediately go into headhunt so I can try and use that higher attack against this noble horse. Ah, oh, those crackheads. They pulled away from me whenever I used Headhunt, which is actually exactly what they should have done. I'm gonna go into Spear Wall with my farmers. Now my general's gonna get flanked again by these charging horsemen. This is bad. Made a mistake by coming out of my defensive position. I'm just mad about the Headhunt. Got these slingers out here shooting over the buildings. So I'll see if I can return fire with my own slingers, and I'm going to see if I can get these spearmen into that noble horse. Really don't want my heroic nobles facing the noble horse, because that's where they're going to do the worst. Gosh dang it, I ended up wasting my Headhunt there too. That's just downright irritating. Okay, I'm going to try and outflank with all my farmers here. They're not the best unit, but there's a decent anvil there with my general unit. I can at least try and use this bonus versus large there. The enemy slingers are kind of weaseling around behind those buildings where I'm losing my angle on them.
The men are wavering.
Yeah, my man. These guys are not any good. They have 8 kills, though, which for a farmer unit in this kind of shape is probably not that bad. Yeah, I can't bring my slingers around there, but I can try and bring another farmer unit around the flank. The more of these guys I can get around the flank, the better. That's going to be my only prayer here. I really need to get these slingers away from me too. Might try and weasel my slingers through this opening as well. We're actually getting some pretty good morale penalties on the enemy with this outflanking, and they have kind of a mass rout going on right now. So we can pull these farmers out of their formation and try and enclose the enemy general. If we take him out, then it's pretty much going to be game over. So having that heroic noble general actually paid off here, because that heavy infantry unit was able to hold off all those enemies. They do have a light cav that just came up behind me now. Come on, what's up with my keyboard? There it goes. My keyboard's been acting weird. Maybe I just need to look into getting a new one if I have to. Oh wow, that's Spear Noble that's come up on me over here. Spear Noble we can handle, because I have a Heroic Noble, thank goodness. And my own slingers are pelting theirs at point blank range. Their slingers have just completely ignored mine the whole time, going for my infantry, which is probably the right idea, because if they can kill my infantry, they win the fight.
battle is turning in our favor.
Alright, let's charge the Spear Noble. You guys ought to be able to handle him. They turned their back on me when I threw my javelins. Like this guy's got a javelin through his shoulder. Where are you running to? I thought you were Spear Nobles, not Spear Pansies. Turn around and take it. Yeah, you're darn right, take the heads. Thanks, Spear Jerks. Don't turn your back to me. Patchy is your emperor. Alright, so we managed to defend against the Sequani here. So the Sequani dealt me a defeat whenever I came to their city. I've now dealt them a defeat when they came to my city. So we're almost square. We'll be completely square whenever I go back and raise their city to the ground. So that ought to be only fair. Good. All the enemy troops fleeing now. Well, for the most part. The Spear Noble unit still doesn't want to break. There we go. Enemy slingers ought to be pretty much out of the fight too. Let's watch this point-blank slinging action. It's almost like a musket shootout, except with slingers, of course. Ow. See the stones bouncing off their shields. Maybe off of their cranium as well. That would hurt so bad, especially if it was cold. Can you imagine getting hit with a slingshot, like a sling stone, when it was freezing cold? That'd just be terrible. Oh man, I've been hit with golf balls when it's cold, and that was terrible.
There's
another enemy spear unit that's come back from routing. My My heroic nobles are completely exhausted from all the killing and fighting and frenzy and all that kind of stuff. Base morale is up to 89 though over in that circle. This is an enemy Levy Freeman unit that's come back from routing. So we'll just surround it real quick and finish it off. My slingers finished off the enemy slingers. Heroic Nobles, 264 kills. Not bad. So that Noble Horse was really the only tough unit for them to take out here, because Noble Horse has that nice bonus versus infantry. My men are like, Air, please, can you please make us stop killing? Alright, sweet. Another important victory for us there, so we hold on to Trevor Worm and push back the Sequani. And once that army is retrained, we'll immediately go push back into their city. I tell you what would be handy at this point is some ballista. So I probably need to get the right buildings to recruit ballista, because they could help me punch down towers and walls, even if there was just a couple in every army, it'd probably be worth it. Maybe I could cut my slingers and replace them with ballista. Not quite as mobile, but it would still kill a lot of enemies in a skirmish, and it would also help me get through walls. Because even once I got through the walls with the ladders, I mean, just continued attrition to those towers was just brutal. And if you could just take away some of that somewhere in the process, seems like it would do what you needed to kind of keep them safe. So yeah, at least this army's a little more capable now. We have a few more sword units, so we ought to be capable of holding back the Sequani. And we'll be capable of mounting a defense here as well. 5 turns until we complete a stable. That's quite a while. Anyway, I guess I have just a few seconds left. Let's see if we can get lucky and convert this War Maiden over to the cause. We'll use our Druid on her. Nothing like a good Druid conversion here. Use Temptation. Who wouldn't be tempted to join Patchy? Well, apparently not her, but let's see. Manipulation. This one's got the highest chance of defection. Not the overall highest chance, but let's give it a shot. So Coercion. Sweet! Got ourselves another War Maiden. So this is what we'll try and do. We'll, yeah, see how we've already got 5 champions and 3 spies. This will be great. We can keep trying to build up the number of agents that we have, because it'll come in extremely handy once the swarm of enemy agents really comes to bear on us. Well, anyway, Heir of Carthage, signing off for now.